Another issue that obviously is going on is the Rooney Rule. Another conversation that everyone's having, everyone's guessing. Every other day it's a different way. What's the real? What's the fake? Well, y'all know how I feel about the Rooney Rule. I just don't think that anything's going to work when you legislate desire. If you came in here right now with a tablet talking about, can you sign here? I'm like, yeah, what's this? Let me read it. Let me see. A lot of fine print here. What is this? Oh, we want to make sure you always eat your tacos without ketchup. Let me stop. We want to make sure you do something that you innately don't want to do, but you're going to do it in the name of equity and inclusion, diversity. And I'm just sitting there like, so something that I potentially want to give to anybody, you're going to tell me I have to make sure I look at everybody. Why? Isn't that kind of redundant? What insecurity are you really presenting? Oh, you trying to tell me that I may just hire someone that looks like me? I may just hire my son. I may just hire somebody I'm really familiar with, and then that's a problem because I didn't look at everybody. Okay, we're going to talk through this. Let's hear it.
Here's a little bit here to some of the head coaching hires that have been made in this cycle, which could come to an end after the Super Bowl with Clint Kubiak heading to Vegas. In total, 10 teams changed head coaches this offseason, and only one of those spots went to a minority coach, Robert Saleh, who was of Lebanese descent, to the Titans. It's the 5th time since the Rooney Rule was implemented in 2023 that no black head coaches were hired during an offseason cycle. RC and Marcus, this week, Roger Goodell made it clear that this has to change. He said there needs to be more diversity in coaching, and the league would be reevaluating everything they're doing. But RC, how big of an issue is this?
Well, before you go, I want to go. I wonder how comfortable she is saying this and teeing this up. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you're on the spot. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder, like, off camera, 3 drinks in, hanging with her husband, what's the real convo? I can guess. I don't want to do that. Right here, these two guys, let's hear what we're going to go through in terms of trying to make this. I'm not into the rhetoric of these type of conversations. Part of the reason why I'm not an activist, because I don't want my energy to be used, consumed, misconstrued as just talk. Like, walk. And to me, the answer is very simple in the walk. We are very young as a black American coaching community, like baby, like freshmen compared to the white coaching community for many reasons. But the reality is the reality. So when you dance around that, all you're going to do is just kill us with jargon. All you're going to do is now try to make these words make sense when the actions are obvious. But let's hear it. Let's have some fun.
I think it's a big issue, and we got to get off of the race or racism conversation and get into the nepotism and relationship conversation, because that's what this is about. The Rooney Rule started at the finish line when we got to get coaches a head start in the starting blocks. Look at the 2013 coaching staff in Washington. It had McVay, it had Shanahan, it had McDaniel, it also had LaFleur and Raheem Morris. And as 2 of them move on to be head coaches, they hire those 3 guys as coordinators. And then you look at a guy like Clint Kubiak, who moves in Minnesota after Gary Kubiak, his father moves on. You look at Mike LaFleur, he coached with Robert Saleh in New York because he had a relationship with Kyle Shanahan. And you don't get this a lot for the 3 black coaches that you see on the defensive side of the ball. D'Amico Ryans hired by a team that drafted him. Aaron Glenn hired by a team that he played for. Todd Bowles got his job because of a 30-year relationship with Bruce Arians. The only coach who I think has understood this was Tony Dungy. Yep. You had Jim Caldwell, you had Mike Tomlin, you had Herm Edwards, and you had Lovie Smith. This isn't about racism in football, but the history of this country does play a part in it. Yeah, you couldn't get generational wealth to own a team. Yep. And they didn't get black coaches in this league where they could select those players and understand the leadership qualities in the people that they see.
That was a masterful take by Ryan Clark. Our work is working. We're getting them out of the race bait and we're getting them into just looking at it for real. Okay? No more of this conversation of, oh, man, they over there looking at you crazy because you walked into the room because you're a little darker. Like, I'm understanding that happened at times. I'm saying what's happening. You ever see that show, What's Happening? Or are you going to just be a rerun? Y'all have seen the show. You know what I just said. Here's the real, and this is the real. Your hang-ups are what's hanging you up, not mine. Okay? When you walk into these rooms, these guys are looking at you like, all right, break it down, let's go. I'm ready to hire. I'm looking to hire. Are you the guy I'm going to hire? But if you walk in there and you have been prepped with angst that, oh my God, they looking at me like I'm this and that, already you're not even comfortable. You're not even presenting yourself in the best light. And that's what's happening in a lot of these racial issues with my people. They're being put in an anxious position because of all of the historical data that they keep acting like is in front of them. No, it's behind us. Okay? Use that as a launching point to knowing context and perspective. But please don't use it as the destination that you are still in, because we have moved on. But if you haven't moved on, we haven't moved on. Who's been in that relationship before? Girl, that happened 3 years ago. You still talking about it? You still feel that? That's still sparking interest? You're still triggered? You haven't went anywhere. Despite the calendar flipping, you haven't went anywhere. And that's what's happening a lot of times with the conversation. But in reality, these coaches that they're talking about, these dudes get it. It's simple how you can become an NFL head coach. First, get in the line as early as possible. Take your lumps. Be around people. Don't use the anomalies as examples. Don't look at a 32-year-old Sean McVay and say, that's me. No. Let's look at the median. Let's look at the average. Look at the general. Okay, you can exceed expectations, but get in line first. Take your lumps, right? Go to North Dakota Tech Community Center, Tech, and then coach, and then get your resume up, get your relationships up. Because all it takes is one dude to be like, that's my coordinator. Then you ball out as a coordinator, that's my head coach. Somewhere else, that's all they doing. I know so many coaches, all colors, and they all do the same things, the ones that are successful. One of my boys and my teammate, Cortez Hankton. Now he's the wide receiver coach at Ohio State. He was just at LSU. Keeps on moving. Good stuff. Byron Leftwich, my teammate, my dog. Now Byron Leftwich, he fell into a little bit of a trap. Same thing as Eric Bieniemy. It happens a lot. When you you go around someone too big as a guru, they start to slight you a little bit. We've seen that. You got to be careful how you maneuver, because the narrative is going to be manipulated, right? But these guys are all, you just got to click up with the right one that hits it. And it could be you the one that hits it. And it could be your boy. And if it's your boy, you good. But the whole like, oh man, and then the whole enforcement of this, it really does a disservice to the black coaches, because the white coaches in there like, you're a grown ass man and you're a coach with an ego. And somebody is coming up to you or the owner and they hitting you. And they're like, hey, you know what you got to do? You're like, what I got to do? You imagine going up to a billionaire and say, hey, you know what you got to do? What? What I got to do? Who the hell are you? And he's like, well, in your process, I need you to go interview them people. So you know what they were doing for many a years? This sham. They was like, all right, bring them in here. Hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Like, you can force somebody to have resentment that doesn't even have resentment just because of how you forcing them. I don't want to go out with her. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. All right, dog. I'll be your wingman. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Is that racial? The girl could be fine. It don't matter. You ain't into her. You're just looking out for your boy. You're like, oh, okay, Goodell. Okay, we're going to interview him. Okay. Hey, how you doing? It's the same shit. People got to understand this world is like all these like common dynamics. And then they just apply themselves differently. Just like in religion, like God and devil. The devil only shows up one time in a red suit and a pitchfork. The rest of the times, he comes exactly how you like him. Yep. 5'10", 180. Mm-hmm. Curly hair. Mm-hmm. Yep. He ain't coming like this. I'm the devil. Please let me in so I can mess up your life. No. And that's the seduction of all these conversations. They make it, they dress it up. Oh, we're going to help out everyone. No, you're not. You're going to hurt everything. Look at the numbers. Y'all think I'm lying? Y'all mad at me? I don't care. You know why? Because all I got to do is point. Evidence. Exhibit A. Doesn't work that way. I never achieved anything because I was like, yo, hook me up. That shit lasts about as long as you say, hook me up. Shit going away. The stuff you really get, nobody even care about when you going to get it. Whether it's your grades, kids is simple. Kids you got to make sure they get good grades, make sure they're into some sport, some kind of commitment after school, and make sure that they're good people of character around your house and around your community. Simple. And if your kids ain't got those 3 things rolling already, you doing your kids a disservice. If you start talking about systems and narratives and the plight, man, just kiss your kids' ambition goodbye. Because all they're going to be doing is trying to monkey branch and find some hookups. Meanwhile, there are kids out there of all complexions and backgrounds who being taught the right way, the right culture. That's why immigrants can come over here and pass us by, because we over here still talking about, man, you know what they did? And immigrants are like, I don't know, don't care. You want to know what I've been through? No, you don't. I don't care either. It's behind me. Let's go. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Let me put you on to something that's part of my daily routine now. VINIA, not a powder, not a pill.
It's the Daily Chews 2X formula. And yeah, they taste good too.
It's plant-based. No stimulants, no crash, no jitters, no banned substances, no junk. It's Informed Sports certified. Just something that actually delivers. Link in description, vinia.com/Marcellus. Discount code Marcellus10 for a 10% discount. Wow.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the verse.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.